Hi guys, this is Anna with JD Stone Gaming, and we're back at it with the Homeless Sims Challenge. Right now she's just fishing and trying to make money. And this episode, you'll see that I tried to see how long I could squat in someone's house before they would kick me out. I didn't really interact with a lot of them because I wanted to see if the other Sims would just let me stay there. Like in the last episode with the goths, where they didn't seem to be kicking me out at all. They would just let me stay there and sleep in their bed. For some reason, it seems as though my gameplay from the last episode all of it didn't get saved. It might have been my fault because I might have went into the autosave file. Anyway, the only reason why that matters is because the goth family is no longer my friends in this episode. Which I don't really get, other than it didn't save. And as you can tell, I am very, very stinky, which is why I go looking for a house to squat in, because the sink, washing my hands, and brushing my teeth can only get me so far. And nowhere near what I need to just get clean. I was trying to figure out camera angles so that it was better. And here I'm having her sleep. And does anyone really need a narration on sleeping? Also, I would like to point out that for some reason, my speed, when I would speed up time, it didn't always speed up as fast as it should. I don't know why that is. It could be an issue with the console or the game itself. I don't know. Someone can tell me why it is that The Sims 4 doesn't always speed up like you tell it to. And can we just point out that she has kind of a fancy phone for being a homeless Sim. Here I am. I'm at a random person's house. I'm not even 100% sure whose house this is, to be honest. I think his name is Caden. And, well, I was just looking for a place to take a shower. And a bed to sleep in. And as you can see, I knock on the door, it opens the house. They don't even answer the door. And here she is, she's telling me that, it's inappropriate for me to take a shower in their tub. Also, is it just me, or does it look like there's two showers right next to each other? I don't quite understand that. Here she is sleeping in their bed. Like I said, I was testing out the ability to squat. In upcoming sim challenges, you're going to see that I switched to PC, and I'm trying to point out or see the differences in the Sims 3 and the Sims 4. And here you will see there is a random fire that broke out in the courtyard. I got woke up from my squatting to the fire in the courtyard. And as you can see, there's nothing around it to catch fire. I think that might be the first time I've ever seen that happen in a Sims game. A fire just randomly break out. Oh! Never mind. There's a grill there. You guys can all make fun of me for that, because when I was playing the game, I didn't see the grill. I just thought it was a random fire in the courtyard. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the house that also has a grill in the backyard. So I don't think my brain was quite catching why they needed two grills. That might be the backyard. It might be my mistake. Anyway, I'm all new to this whole recording my voice on stuff. I don't like my speaking voice, but here I am. Oh, here he is telling me to, that's inappropriate to sleep in their bed. But as you can see, they're not kicking me out. Yet. It's just, they're telling me that it's inappropriate to use their stuff, you know, their shower, their toilet, their bed, I didn't ever try to cook because I'm trying to be true to the challenge, and it didn't tell me I couldn't go into houses and cook. But it didn't tell me that I could, or it didn't tell me that I could either. Okay, yeah. She's telling me to leave at this point, and you can see they kicked me out, and I'm testing to see if I can go back in the house, and I cannot. But he comes outside, I'm outside, and can we all just point out, or say something about the fact that she just got kicked out from squatting in someone's house, and she's inspired by this. That she got kicked out, and is now inspired. Am I the only one confused by this? I would think that I would have a very sad sim because she got kicked out, but apparently not. And here I'm traveling. I think we're going to travel to the goth house. Any minute now. And here we are at the goth house, you know. In the last episode, like I said, I was friends with the goths. They would let me do whatever I wanted in the house, and it seemed like they weren't ever going to kick me out of the house, even though I was a squatter. And as I said before, the game did something, and I was no longer friends with them. And then I was just seeing why she was sad. She went from inspired to sad awful quick, but I would have assumed that she would either been embarrassed or sad, or maybe even angry that she got kicked out of that house, and she wasn't. And you'll see me do this a lot too in the houses. I go in and I see if there's anything already made in the fridge that is good, so she doesn't have to eat spoiled food. I mean, I'm a homeless person, not stereotyping them or anything, but a lot of homeless people eat food out of the trash. So, I mean, what's the difference between trash food and spoiled food anyway? I mean, really. And like I said, I'm trying to stay true to the challenge, and I'm not spending money inside of the houses. Because I feel like that's kind of cheating if I can get into the house and cook food. So I just don't. So I use the bed, I use the shower. Basically, I do those things to keep my sim alive. Because she can't really sleep or get real sleep on a bench. All she can do is nap. However, she can spend money and grill. And that's no different than the stove or anything like that. And as she gets cooking skills, she is able to cook more on the grill. So I just don't feel right using it as a cop-out and using the stove. I know it's kind of a cop-out and maybe a little bit cheaty by using the bed and the shower, but I mean, whatever, you know, because the rules never said I couldn't squat. They also never said that I couldn't go into random people's houses and use what they had. And as you can see, because I'm not really building up relationships, they are calling me out on inappropriate behavior. Like he's telling me now that's inappropriate for me to use the shower. But then he talks to me. Weird. See? He likes me. Mortimer. I kept really trying to keep her from going back to her lot. Because she doesn't have anything at the lot. I don't. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to put things on the lot that I could benefit from without an actual house. Like, I don't know if I can put a toilet and a shower and a bed on the lot without the actual foundation of the house. It doesn't actually say that I can't, but I don't know. Because even in a homeless shelter, you have walls, you know. And I feel like in the real world, a homeless person wouldn't be able to just spawn a bathtub out of their butt. I mean, and let's be real here. If I had a bathtub on a lot, how am I getting running water to the bathtub without the house? The house creates plumbing, which, without the four walls, doesn't logically make sense. I mean, there's a lot about The Sims that doesn't really logically make sense. But I feel like staying true to the challenge, I mean, it doesn't actually... I feel like it's cheating again. Let's just put it that way. Because we don't have underground plumbing that allows a freestanding bathtub. Maybe I could get away with the bed because you don't need running water or electricity or any of that stuff. But, I mean, public indecency, anybody? With the bathtub and the toilet? I mean, yeah, they blur it out. But we all know what's going on behind that blur. I mean, you know. In one of these houses coming up, there's a naked guy. I squat in a house, and the guy, I didn't even know you could do it on The Sims. The guy walks around his house naked. I mean, he kicks me out of bed with nothing on. I'll make sure to point it out. I didn't even know you could do that. I mean, if he can do that, I mean, I am in his house. So I guess he has the right to be naked in his house. And I'm not allowed to be, you know, pooping in the middle of my lawn because I don't have walls, and he does. But come on. I mean, I know I couldn't get my sim naked. I don't know how he got naked. I have a feeling that there's a cheat somewhere, and I didn't turn it on. So, anybody else think this is a cute little park? It doesn't even have a... It doesn't have a place on the map for you to go directly to this park. But isn't it a cute little park? Let's all take a second and be like, aww. It's just got chess tables, it's got a grill, it's got a picnic table, and that little toy for the kids. And I don't quite understand this. I'm pretty sure I got kicked out of this house. I know, or nobody lives in that house, I'm not sure which, but they're letting me sleep on the bench behind the house, but I can't go in the house. Don't we think that it should all be part of that house, and it should be locked out of the whole house? I guess not. Sim logic, right? I have a toddler, and when he does things that we don't understand, we always say toddler logic. Well, in this game, it is sim logic. And whoever creates the Sims, they're not very logical people. They're just not. I wish that they had things that made stuff like the homeless challenge better. You know? I mean, yeah, you have the hygiene, yeah, you have the dirt and the stink cloud. But, I mean, I kind of wish that she actually looked homeless a little bit, you know? I feel like she's dressed up. She's the fanciest homeless person I've ever seen. And I don't think I actually mess with any of her other outfits except for her everyday outfit. So I'm not even 100% sure what those look like. Here I am in another house. This house actually made me angry a little bit because I walk inside, this guy catches fire, and I put him out, and he still kicks me out. Yeah, I am a squatter. No, he doesn't know who I am. But he would have died if I wouldn't have stepped in. I mean, if it were me and someone put me out, I know that I would be a little more appreciative and be like, hey, anything I can do to repay you? Yeah, give me a bed. Okay, it's yours. I mean, I would have taken a couch, something better than a bench. You know? Just anything. I will give Sims for this. I kind of like this. They have a built-in sprinkler system. Look at that. Look at that. You see the waterfall? That is a built-in sprinkler system. And that thing that you saw me trying to mess with on the front of the house, that's what that means. It means that there is a sprinkler system inside that house. I personally think that's really cool. And here I'm trying to make friends with them so that I can sleep in one of their beds. That backfires. He's just an ungrateful jerk. And I don't think he likes me very much. I mean, it could be the fact that he just caught fire. That he's not very talkative. But I just get the feeling that he just doesn't like me very much. I always find it super annoying when I have to really fight with a sim to be my friend. I mean, hello man, you're a computer. Do what I tell you. You know what I mean? You guys couldn't. Self-explanatory. Paisley's just talking to people.
Nurchel Karenzi? Wemek Brushu? Lagora.
You can't see her, but everyone say hi to Stony Cat. She's in my lap. She decided that she wanted to join the video. She's even up by the mic. She's trying to figure out what it is. Oh, here I am, taking a shower in this random person's house. This person does have multiple bedrooms. There's another one, and it's really weird. The build of the house. They do let me take a bubble bath. So I'll give him that. I saved his life, they let me take a bath. I guess that's the end of the thanks. Thanks for saving my life. You can take a bath and I won't call you out on it. But that's where it ends. And I can't remember if this is the one where the guy's naked or if it's the next house. But at one point he comes in. It's this one. This one. This one, here in a minute, he comes in, he tells me it's inappropriate. So I go and move to the kid bed. Right there where he's standing right now. And he comes in there naked. Yes, you're going to hear about this a lot this episode because my mind is still blown away by the fact that the sim came in there butt naked. He was nothing but a blur in a head. And as you can see, they're not calling me out on anything just yet. I'm checking to see if there's anything in the oven or in the fridge. My bad. My bad. And like I said, I'm sure, I think there are free foods that you're just given in the game. I gotta check that before I actually try it on an episode though. But I think things like cereal and water and yogurt, any of the quick meals, I think they're all free. But there again, is it cheating if I eat those foods? Because I wasn't invited into this house. I'm not allowed to accept invites into houses, like to stay all night. So is it cheating if I get food from the refrigerator? You guys tell me. And if we can figure out how to do a poll, we might do a poll and you can tell me. Eating free foods out of the refrigerator, is it cheating in a homeless challenge? Because I didn't pay any money for it. I mean, and that's the idea. As long as I'm not paying money for things. I mean, I can. Obviously, I have to with the girl. Or she'd never eat and we wouldn't get past episode 1. But in order to eat, she has to make the money herself. Without a job. Look, he's playful and she's inspired. We should probably go play music and we're not. And why is the woman of the house sleeping on that bench outside? She has 3 beds upstairs and she chooses to sleep outside? Doesn't even look like a comfortable bench. She got lucky. Someone else made food. So she didn't make it. She didn't buy it. By the way, if you hear sloshing, it's my drink. I have a metal cup here with a drink in it. So I don't want anyone to think that there's something more going on or something weird going on. It's just a drink. And it's a little too close to the mic. Here she is. She climbs into the kid's bed. Is he? Yeah. Look, he's naked. See that? He is nothing but a head, a blur, and feet. Look. Like, when did that become a thing? I mean, can my son run around naked? That's what I'm wondering. Because now I'm thinking about seeing if I can try it. Not because I want to be nude or anything like that. I just didn't know you could do it. I mean, I did wake him up out of bed, and I know that it's a real thing that people really do sleep with no clothes on. I'm not one of those people. I think it's weird. I don't understand it. Okay, I kind of understand it, but I think it has to do with the coolness of the bed up against your bare body. I don't know. But the thing here is, if he just got out of bed and he hypothetically ran into the room because there was a weirdo sleeping in a bed, and this is where I was talking about the timing being weird, by the way. See, here he is again. And he's telling me it's inappropriate to be in that bed. Again. And he's still naked. Wait. Now he is downstairs, sleeping on the bed, or on the couch, naked. See, I'm pointing out that he's right there, and he's naked. And I moved to a different house. This time I brought my old buddy Mortimer with me. I feel like I got more done with Mortimer being with me. You know, the squatting business. But this is my 4th house I've squatted in. So they do kick me out. I get 3 warnings, or 2 warnings, and on the 3rd time, they kick me out. And they tell me that it's inappropriate and I need to leave right then. So she walks out the door and the house acts like it might as well, you know when you first walk up to a house. And I just think this is funny. I bring Mortimer to the lot, and we're outside this house that I just knocked on the door of. And we're just hanging out outside. By this point, I'm getting a little angry because nobody seems to be cooking food. Nobody. What do you do? What's a homeless girl supposed to do when nobody has any leftovers? So while my buddy Mortimer is downstairs keeping these people company, I'm going to go to their one and only bed. See, this is the one I was talking about. It's such a weird layout. There's one bedroom, one bathtub, but you can see behind, the empty space behind her. Like, why is it there? I mean, other than the rest of the house. Like, why didn't they use that? Or more than that, why didn't the game like put a roof on that if they weren't gonna use it for any more house, Because that's a pre-built house on The Sims. I mean, and if you look behind the dresser over there and behind the toilet, there's just a gaping hole. I mean, to be fair, that could be the garden, but it looks like it goes downstairs into the house. So, like, my brain the whole time was trying to wrap around. Yeah, see? So, I went downstairs. So you go downstairs, and that's not the garden. It's not a garden. That's part of the house, and there's not a roof over it. I'm not great at building houses, let's be fair. But, The Sims have really, really confused me this time with their pre-built stuff. And there that guy's angry because he just tried to get food out, and it was, he couldn't cook it because he burned up the stove. And apparently, they don't have enough money to replace their stove. Yep, that's right, folks. You're catching me rummage through every trash can at every lot that I go to. So not only do I wanted to use the girl. Because parks have girls, so I don't feel like it's cheating if I use a girl at a house. So then I decided to go fishing instead. Because I feel like fish give me the most money. Paisley has enough experience now and her music that she gets $8 every time someone gets her money while she's playing music. So, I mean, I could get to $5,000 with that. But I'd have to find the right place in town, the right traffic. She'd always have to be in the right mood, and let me tell you, it's not exactly easy to keep her in a good mood. With nothing. Everything that's designed to keep your sim happy, she doesn't have. She doesn't have a home. She doesn't have friends, really. She's just got houses that she squats in. And if any of you have done this challenge before, and I'm doing something wrong, like I said before, I know that there are many challenges. I just wanted to do the basic homeless challenge because this is my very first challenge through Sims 4, but more specifically my first challenge ever with the PS4. I feel like a lot of these challenges I would probably be able to do a little easier if I was on the computer. Because I feel like there's more stuff available to you on PC. And I'm going to be doing a couple challenges coming up on Sims 3 because that's the one I have the most expansions for. So I can do more with it, I feel like. I think I have almost every expansion for Sims 3 on PC. So coming up, stay tuned. After we're done with the homeless challenge, which could be a while because you see we have it's either I can't exactly see the amount, but you can see we're far from 5,000. So the problem with anyone who's interested in this and doing voiceovers, the problem with it is it makes the screen, your play screen, tiny. So if you don't have like super awesome vision, you can't see the little bitty words on the screen. Everybody laugh at me, because that's funny. Because I'm over here squinting trying to see what I'm supposed to see. Anyway, the important thing is she doesn't have her money, right? She's nowhere near the money. She's not even at, I don't believe, 500 simoleons. So, I feel like this is going to take a little bit longer than I anticipated. I really, really expected to have this done after no more than 3 videos. This video is actually pretty long because there's 2 videos in one on this video. So, that's where we're at. So, upload, that's technically video 3 that will be out next Friday. But recording, it's technically video 4. I had to think about that. Sorry guys, it's kind of a little bit late. I should really, really, really consider doing this earlier in the day. Also, as always, if you have a constructive criticism to give me or to my husband JD, feel free. We are constantly and willing to take constructive criticism. Yes, we know that we don't have the best equipment. Yes, we know we don't have the best taping. Remember, guys, we are a new channel starting out. Unless you have money out the butt when you start these channels, you don't have the finances to just go out and buy what people tell you to buy. So please remember that when you comment. We know that there is equipment that we need that we don't have. If you could point in the right direction of equipment. You know, the voice. If you don't like the way the voice sounds, if you have a suggestion for a mic, suggest a mic. If you have a editing tool for gaming, go for it. Remember, we have Switch, PS4, PC, and 3DS. So if you have any suggestions on editing, yes, we know the 3DS takes a capture card. We also know that the Switch takes a capture card. So we'll save you the time of typing that out. That those take capture cards. I'm just trying to help my husband JD from getting more criticism. So if you can give us constructive criticisms on what we say, how we act, what we do, if there's something that you would like to see, like a specific game that you would like to see, we may be able to get our hands on that game. Please don't suggest any really new games because, as I said before, we are a new channel. We do have a family that we have to put first. And we are 2 responsible adults who cannot throw money away at everything our fans want to see. So, with that being said, if there is something that you would like to see, we do have a pretty large genre of games. So if we have it, that will be a series that we would love to put out there for you. Also, don't forget to check out JD Stone Gaming on Facebook. That would actually probably be a better place to give us constructive criticism, because that goes directly to our phones. So when you comment on it, both JD and I both get notifications on that. I'm pretty sure that you can also message us directly. We don't have a huge fan base yet, so it's not like it's going to take forever for us to respond to you. And one last thing, guys. If we find you being negative, we will not tolerate negativity in our comments. We will delete every single comment every single time. And if we have to, we will figure out how to block you. Views aren't that important to deal with negativity. Because as I said before, we do have lives outside this. We have a three-year-old child who has physical challenges that we have to deal with on a daily basis. We are also 2 adults. So, we will not deal with negativity at all. So, if you're looking for some place where you can put someone down, please go to another channel, because your views are not that important to us. We're trying to bring family-friendly gaming. And yes, I know I've been going on about this for a while, but you gotta understand, this is an hour long. I'm trying to figure out how to fill up an hour. So I'm kind of laying down the ground rules for our channel. Because all she's doing is sleeping. And stinking. See? Look at her green cloud of gross. If you guys have any suggestions on a better recording thing than SHAREfactory on PS4, I would actually love to hear about this. By the way, quick side note. I'm putting another guitar in the park because somehow Paisley was able to run away with the guitar in her inventory and left it at one of the houses in which she got kicked out of. You will also see that I'm adding a couple other things, like here, a woodworking table. Because I figured that if she can make things with a woodworking table, she might be able to make a little bit more money. And here I'm trying to find a location to put it. But because I don't want to make the park look dingy, you know? I mean, because that's a pretty park that they've got. It's just kind of hard to find places, and they didn't really want to put it over by the fish, but that's what ended up happening. And you'll also see, and this may be cheating, y'all can you can knock me off my Sims whatever if you want, but I do put a bed in the park. I mean, I don't typically see beds in the park. I don't know anyone else who's ever told me that they've seen a bed in the park. So it could be cheating. And I did go for kind of the best single, you know, twin bed that they had. I mean, I kind of wanted her to have good sleep, you know. And as I already pointed out, she couldn't do that on the bench. So if it's cheating, it's cheating. But I didn't pay any money for it. And the rules never stated that I couldn't put the bed in the park. It just said that I couldn't move in with anyone. And I had to have 5,000 simoleons. It never said I couldn't put anything on public property. But I kind of feel like I'm taking that a little bit far. You know, I feel like I'm kind of stretching the rules just a little bit to get what I want. So, if anyone has a problem with the bed in the park, I will delete it. Just tell me that you feel like it's not really fair. Because you are right if you're thinking, well, homeless people don't have beds in the park. They don't even have cots in the park. They have cardboard and plastic and, you know, they have to make makeshift beds. And I got the best bed that they had. But let's be fair though, I didn't actually think that they would let me put it in the park. Because at this point, her issue isn't really eating. She's making enough money to eat. You know, that's true. Off her fish and her music and the stuff that she's pulling out of the ground. You know, she's making enough money to be able to eat. The problem here is more sanitary stuff and her sleep, and I'm not sure how many naps I'd have to take to be able to get at full energy. And this is when I realized that cleaning myself in the sink that way wasn't such a horrible idea after all. Did you see it? It went up to green. That shocked the heck out of me. This was the last times I was going through and doing this because I felt like if I did it one more time it would bring it up. Like completely up. I think the way the Sims is set up is if you don't take a shower or bath, I think it's every other day. I feel like, so I think that she'll be okay for like a couple days. So a couple of the challenges that I plan on doing on PC, I feel like it'll be a little easier to do, is I'm going to do the Bachelor. I haven't decided if I'm going to do Bachelor or Bachelorette. I'm a female, but it is JD's page, so I could go either way. Boy or girl. There's also a Master Chef challenge. I just think some of these challenges sound way too cool. There's also a Big Brother challenge, which I think could be cool. And you're supposed to eliminate people just like you would in the real show. I think that would be cool, except I don't think you eliminate anyone on Big Brother. I can't... No, you do. You do. I was trying to remember if anyone got eliminated, but they do. They do. I'm much better at creating houses on PC too. Because a lot of these, you're required to create houses. And I feel like that would be much better. Also, a lot of the rules for a lot of these challenges are specifically created for Sims 3 on PC. So I feel like I'll be able to do it, like, just as they say. Versus this. Sims 4 on PS4 is still a very new concept, I feel like. I know that they've come out with expansions, you can see it on the start screen. But I feel like it's still a very new concept. So people are still kind of getting the hang of it, figuring out what to do, how to get around, how do you make a challenge out of it, because so many of the challenges that I'm seeing, they're not on PS4, they're on PC. Especially with The Sims. Because The Sims, once upon a time, was primarily a PC game. Yes, before anyone calls me out, I'm aware that GameCube, I believe, was the very first Sims game that came out. I know that If it wasn't, it was very, very close behind the first Sims on PC. I just don't have my research right in front of me to tell you. It was one or the other. And I feel like every time since, they have come out with a console game that lines up with the PC version. Because I remember Sims 2 on PlayStation, I think. And Sims 3 was on PlayStation 3, you know. And Sims 4 is on PlayStation 4, you know. And they've all been on PC. By the way, if any of that I just said was incorrect, feel free to comment below and tell me the actual. Because like I said, I don't have anything in front of me to tell you, or tell me the exact, you know, what lined up with what. I'm pretty sure that's correct. I know that the first one was on GameCube. I'm basing that off of how I've owned them. And the only one I haven't ever owned on a console was Sims 2. So that's the only one that I'm not sure about. Okay, JD just pulled it up. So The Sims was on PC, PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox. And Mac. I mean, do we really have to be told that it was on Mac? I mean, I always put the computers on the same level. I focused on the bathroom, guys, because she was going to the bathroom. As you can see, she's starving. So, out of curiosity, from some viewers, would anyone be interested in me doing The Sims through the ages? You know, starting with Sims 1, 2, 3, you know, and 4. And if they come out with a 5, then doing a 5th one. I know that there's someone else that does it. I cannot think of their name. But would anyone be interested in maybe the challenges through The Sims ages? That could be interesting. You know, starting with a homeless challenge in Sims 1, and then as we progress, you know, I hit $1,000. Then we switch it over to Sims 2. You know, again, I hit $1,000. We switch it to Sims 3. I hit $1,000, and then for the last $2,000, we could do Sims 4. You know, and just do a transition of The Sims through the ages, and we'll use Paisley Hansen as our victim. Cause I can pull her up, you know. Anyone that knows Sims knows that it's pretty easy to be able to create the person you have in one. Granted, they don't have all the same hair and stuff in the other ones, but I think it'd be pretty cool because, you know, you hear me talk about past Sims a lot. I don't know that I'm super thrilled with Sims 4. Especially not on PlayStation 4. I think I said before, I understand what they did. I understand what they brought back or whatever, or brought into the game. Mostly graphics, because, you know, those plants, like, you can see them blowing in the wind. That didn't used to be a thing. But if they're gonna have it blowing in the wind, don't you think that they should just automatically put seasons in it too? Just for the record, I feel like if Sims games came with the seasons already, this homeless challenge would be a whole different ballgame. Because I'd have to deal with heat, and I'd have to deal with rain, and I'd have to deal with snow, you know, ice, her living in the park and that. See, that would be a challenge. With no coat. Because as I said, I couldn't really find homeless looking clothes. The clothes she has on is pretty much the closest I could get. So this is kind of where the game started glitching again a little bit. Again, I'm not exactly sure what's going on. You would think that with a PlayStation 4 it would be less glitchy, but I have to wonder if it might have something to do with the game itself. It's not on a disc, I don't think. I know the expansion for the game isn't on a disc. And even if it was, it wouldn't be saved to the disc anyway, because that's the way the technology works. Anyway, I went looking for stuff because I noticed, or I realized, that by digging for stuff, I was able to get money kind of quicker. Oh, by the way, let's just point this out for a minute. That little thing up there that you see is telling me that I have bills. $60 for a lot that has literally nothing on it. Does anyone else think that's a bunch of crap? I mean, if they had a thing that had property taxes, it would make sense to me. You know, because you have to, you know, we have to pay property tax. But, I thought that bills on The Sims were based off of what was on the property. Because if you go and buy one of those rickety houses, you know, the ones that cost like $15,000 or something, you know, when you first start out, you see that the bills are, I think they're like $135 without anything added. You know, if you don't buy a fancy fridge or you don't edit the house any, you just leave it the way it is. It's like $135. So I'm paying 60 simoleons for a lot that has nothing on it. I personally think that's a little whack. Again, I'm just looking for stuff that I can harvest and sell. I don't know if it's because my Sim's dirty or if she's sleepy or what, but the timer just kept messing up. And I'm not sure if it actually ended there, but it does like glitch, and she washes her hands for like 3 minutes or something. And that's where I ended it. Okay, before our time runs out, that's been Anna with JD Stone Gaming. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget, guys, live like your life depends on it. Thanks. Bye. Correction, y'all. Play like your life depends on it. I'm off.